Today we're going to pull back the curtain on something we all do, but almost none of us really understand. We're talking about the secret science of shopping.
You know the feeling, right? You just pop into the store for milk, maybe some bread, and then somehow you walk out an hour later with a cart that's overflowing and a receipt that makes you wince. How does that happen? Like every single time.
Well, what if I told you that whole experience, getting lost in the aisles, grabbing things you didn't plan on buying, isn't an accident? It's not a lack of willpower on your part. It's a very, very carefully designed plan.
To really get this, we have to start by looking inside our own heads. Because, really, the battle for your wallet? It's actually a battle for your brain. So, think of your brain as having two different modes, a concept from the amazing psychologist Daniel Kahneman. You've got your system 2. That's the rational you. It makes the shopping list, it checks prices, it's slow and deliberate. But then there's system 1. That's your brain on autopilot. It's fast, it's emotional, and it runs on impulse. And here's the secret. Retailers know that most of the time you're in a store, it's system 1 calling the shots. Their whole job is to keep that impulse buyer in the driver's seat. So who even came up with all this stuff? Who are these masterminds who turned a simple errand into a full-blown science of persuasion? Well, let's meet the architects of impulse. It all starts with this thing called the Gruen transfer. You've definitely felt this. It's that moment you walk into a store or a mall and you're just hit with this wall of sound, lights, and confusing paths. Your original mission, get milk, just evaporates. You forget why you came, and suddenly you're just browsing. You become an open target for impulse buys. And here is the craziest part. The guy this effect is named after, Victor Gruen, the architect who literally invented the indoor shopping mall, he came to absolutely hate what he created. He called modern malls bastard developments and felt they had totally corrupted his original vision for a community space into a machine for manipulation. This all operates under a bigger idea called choice architecture. It's a fascinating concept. The goal isn't to force you to buy anything. It's to design the environment, the choices, in a way that gently nudges your impulsive System 1 brain toward the decisions they want you to make. Think about why the sugary cereal is always at a kid's eye level. That's choice architecture, and it works because it makes you feel like you were in control the whole time. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does it look like in the real world, in the store? Come on, let's take a little guided tour and see the science of the aisles in action. I bet you'll recognize these. You walk in, and there's that big, open space at the front. That's the decompression zone, and it's built to make you slow down from your brisk, on-a-mission pace. Then they hit you with the produce, all those healthy fruits and veggies. Why? So you feel good about yourself, which makes you feel less guilty about loading up on junk food later. And of course, the milk and the eggs, they're always in the most remote corner of the store, forcing you to walk past thousands of temptations just to get the basics. It's a perfectly planned journey.
Okay, this all sounds really clever, but does it actually work? I mean, does just being near a store literally change our physical behavior? Well, you know what? Science wanted to know too. So check this out. In this really cool study, researchers set up in a busy subway corridor, and they tracked over 1,000 people walking. Their goal was super simple, to see if just having a convenience store on one side would make people walk differently.
And the results are just wild. You can see it right here. People walking on the side with the store walked way slower. But here's the mind-blowing part. It wasn't because it was more crowded or they were dodging people. The slowdown was caused by what scientists call cognitive load. Just the simple act of looking at the store, gazing at the products, watching people go in and out, was enough of a mental task to physically slow them down. Your brain was so busy processing the store that your feet literally hit the brakes. So all this store design, all this psychology, it only works because stores are jam-packed with thousands of products. But let's zoom out for a minute. Way out. How did all this stuff, from every corner of the planet, even get on those shelves? It's a question we almost never ask, right? We just expect to find our favorite coffee from Ethiopia right next to TVs from South Korea. The answer is an invention that's so common we don't even see it anymore, but it completely changed the world. It all comes down to a simple metal box. See, before 1956, loading a cargo ship was an absolute mess. Slow, expensive, a total nightmare. It cost almost $6 a ton. Then this guy, an entrepreneur named Malcolm McLean, has a revolutionary idea: the standardized shipping container. And look what happened. The cost to load a ton of goods plummeted to just 16 cents. That single change set off the explosion of global trade that defines our world today. That one invention was so powerful that today it's estimated that 90% of pretty much everything in the room with you right now, your clothes, your computer, maybe even the food in your fridge, spends some time inside one of those containers crossing an ocean.
And what's the total value of all the stuff moving around the world in these boxes every year? It's a number that almost doesn't seem real. $14 trillion. It's the circulatory system of our global economy.
So think about it. Without that humble, boring metal box, the endless aisles just wouldn't be possible. The overwhelming amount of choice that triggers the Gruen transfer couldn't exist. The shipping container is the unsung hero that built the physical foundation for the entire science of shopping.
All right, we've gone from the deepest parts of our subconscious all the way to container ships on the high seas. So, now what? What do we do with all this? How do we start to shop with our eyes wide open?
What we've seen is that your simple trip to the store is actually the very last step in a huge, incredibly complex, and highly engineered global experience. Every single piece of it, from a ship in the Pacific to the lighting in the produce section, is there for a reason.
But here's the most important thing to take away from all this. Learning the science behind it all isn't about feeling paranoid or manipulated. It's the opposite. It's about empowerment. It's about being able to walk into a space and see the design, to recognize the architecture for what it is.
You know, just by watching this, just by understanding the forces at play, you've already changed the game. You've basically activated that rational system 2 part of your brain. You are, right now, a more conscious consumer.
So I'll leave you with this. The stores aren't going to change their playbook, but you've changed. You've just been handed the blueprints to the whole system. So the next time you walk through those automatic doors, now that you know the architecture of choice, what will you choose to see?